Ladies and gentlemen, it is not finished the story. It is the story never ends. Triple Fraud has done it once again. He's played you all for a fiddle. The fans are fickle. Triple H's trust in the fans are fickle, and vice versa. And guys, WWE is cooked as hell. As a person who has not kept up with the product, that's what we're calling it the product. It's not like this magical thing that it once was. It is now a product to be consumed by us cogs in the wheel of the Matrix. It's just unfortunate, like there had been highlights, here and there, strong moments that kind of start to pull me back in, but then, too much of this stuff happening. And honestly, my only way of knowing what's going on in the WWE at this moment is by watching one of the best YouTubers, WWE YouTubers at the moment, the Heels Advocate. Shout out to Heels Advocate. And the Great One as well. Keeping up with it by those two channels, and it's just the same story over and over again. Triple H booked some random nonsense, trash, terrible event, and the brass has very, very low confidence in their stars, if you can even call them that. And then it's just the same rinse and repeat, play it safe, just bad nonsense. This is crazy, guys. Cody Rhodes, this skinny little twink who couldn't even carry a paper bag in 2010, is being pushed to the moon over and over again, like there's a loop, like there's a wormhole that keeps him coming up and up and up. It's just insane. Here's how I'm gonna encapsulate the problem with the WWE. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to 2010 real quick. Hold on. Take a look at this image right here. What do you see? I see perfection. I see probably the most peak time of WWE in the modern era. Let me explain to you why. What makes this ring is made up of characters, of superstars, larger than life characters, who all have their own archetypes, who all have their own personalities, who all represent these attributes of people, raised up to 1,000, and then each of these characters had interwoven storylines with each other, and it was just so interesting to see how all these characters, these different elements, would interact with each other. For example, Sheamus, the wild Irish warrior, right? This crazed guy who came in and just bulldozed his way into the championship picture, took the title from John Cena, right? John Cena, the face of the WWE, right? The powerhouse. Edge, the ultimate opportunist, right? Randy Orton, the slithering viper. Chris Jericho, the arrogant genius. And Wade Barrett, the leader of the new generation, right? All of these guys had these characters. We knew who they were. We knew we had an idea of how they would act and how they'd react to certain situations. And the most interesting and captivating thing about WWE at this time was watching how these different styles, these different characters, these different people would interact with each other, and the explosion in storylines and moments that would occur. These larger than life characters, these titans clashing, was so enthralling, right? Because again, it falls down to characters, storylines. Nowadays, what do we have? Let's take a look. All right, we have Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso. I don't know who the two of these twins are, but I mean, what does he do, bro? He's fat. He does the same super kick that he's been doing since 2010. And by the way, he was a bum in 2010, just like Cody Rhodes. He says yeet every 5 seconds, right? He says yeet like that. What is this, bro? Not a character. You have Seth Rollins, who's, as you can see, eating a lot of potatoes lately, right? His wife is feeding him good potatoes. And what is his character? No, nothing. No character. He's just the same guy. He's just an athlete. He's an athlete with a little bit of a personality disorder. You have Gunther, who's supposed to be this cool German, master technical wrestler. I actually think he has a good character. I'm not gonna trash on him. The only problem that I have with him is that he's a little fat. And then you have the only guy worth a damn, which is LA Knight. He's the one who pulled me back into the WWE. The clip of him coming out to Logan Paul and telling him that he has a bottle of Prime that he can stick up where the sun don't shine. Like, that's literally the clip that started to get me back into WWE a little bit. I was like, who is this guy? Right? I started looking up all his clips. I'm like, this guy's a beast, man. I really hope he wins the championship. I really hope he gets pushed, but no. Triple H. Here's the other problem. Triple H. Let me go pull up a picture of Triple H. This right here is not a good man. This right here is not a grizzled veteran who, through life experience, has changed the era of his ways. This right here is not a man who has realized that his time in the sun is over, that should be 1 foot into the grave and content with it. This is not that man. This is an arrogant, egotistical, inconfident man who all he's done is, he's worn a better mask. That's it. This is the same person who drove a woman to death just so that he can use another woman to reach success. And by the way, that woman, Stephanie McMahon, what a poor woman. I feel so bad for her. The light in her eyes are gone. She hates her life. You could tell, bro. These are not like humans like you or me. These are not people like us. These are like scum of the scum, evil, corrupt, greedy people, and they're still closer. They're still at a level closer to us than people who are like, I don't know, way richer and way above them. But anyways, this guy, he sees people like this, right, who are more ripped than him. People like this who remind him of The Rock. People like this who remind him of the very person who he could not compete against because he simply lacks the charisma. People like this who remind him that he had to go through all these rat tactics in the locker room. And he just is jealous and he just refuses to push guys like this. And they're really destroying his confidence, right? Every time he makes a small mistake, they jump on it. It's a tactic. Now, Seth Rollins, he's one of the best performers in the ring of all time, I would say. He's amazing. Honestly, I don't want to hate on this guy. He's like one of my favorites. But unfortunately, actually, I'm not even going to blame the characters. I'm just going to blame the writing, right? Who the hell is Road Dogg, guys? He has one good catchphrase, and then y'all decided that he can head the entire writing department. It's like you can see he's writing so bad. They're giving, okay, look, again, the problem stems to characters. There are no characters, there are no larger than life people, there are no storylines, there's no interwoven events. It's just uninteresting, bland nonsense. And then the other problem is they gave the wrestlers too much free reign to do flippy dippy stuff instead of focusing on the storyline. Look, I love cool flips and kicks and spots and stuff like that, but when you give these wrestlers free reign to all this stuff, they just keep trying to one-up each other to the point where they injure each other and then half the locker room is gone, right? That's the current problem right now, right? Half the locker room is gone, right? So yeah, it's unfortunate, and things just don't matter. Like, I don't even know who's the Intercontinental champion. I don't know who the United States champion. I don't know who the tag team champions are. Is there like there's a World Heavyweight Championship and the main championship, right? Cody Rhodes won the main one, and then I think Seth Rollins has the World Heavyweight. No, CM Shill has it. And by the way, CM Shill is another problem with WWE, okay? CM Shill, he is basically like Linkin Park, right? I think Linkin Park started off, they were this punk rock band who were against the system, against the grain. They grew up in the 90s, right? They had the privilege of, revolting, and then they had the privilege of being able to come back into the fold and then make their money and then just live comfortably, happily ever after. They don't care at that point, right? It's the same exact thing right now. Just Linkin Park went from being these rebels to being these boomer unks who will tell you to get off like their lawn or something like that, right? CM Punk is the same way. He has no passion, no aggression, no mindset. You know what I mean? He's gone. He's just there to collect the paycheck, and that's it. He has nothing to fight for. You know what I mean? He built up his entire career, his entire persona, for being a person, and this was partly real too, right? At the time, all throughout his career, he was fighting against the world. He was fighting an uphill battle, and he wasn't supposed to be anything. He was supposed to be a druggie at the corner of the street, left to die like a dog, right? But given his background and his where he came from, right? He's in medieval times, he would be equivalent to a peasant, just like many of these WWE wrestlers who come from nothing. But luckily he lives in these modern times where you're able to make something out of yourself. And but like once he's done that, like what does he have left to fight for? He's a tired old man. That's what he is. I mean, look, he's a great performer. He's doing pretty good, I must admit. For his age, he's wrestling amazingly. And then also at the same time, his character is not bad. His performance is not bad. He's trying to bring up the modern day. I respect that. But the problem is, the WWE, the corporation, is trying to push this image of this rebel punk fighter, and that's not who he is anymore. You have to let the character be who you are, and then just turn it up to 11. You know, Chris Jericho always says that. Alright, that's it. That's all I got for today. WWE is trash. I miss 2010. Those are the goated times. WWE could be better, but unfortunately, it was sold from Vince McMahon to a bunch of people who only care about and love money, and that is destroying what made WWE special, which was it was this magical thing where, you know, a guy who was passionate about wrestling and performance, led at the helm, and it was, you know, the crew was full of people who were the same way, and yeah, it was just like all hell broke loose, right? It was free reign, but yeah, no, unfortunately, corporatism has destroyed yet another thing that we love, and that's just the way it is.